Hello, moviegoers, and welcome to another edition of Have You Seen It? I am your host, Denise, and this week it is an oldie but goodie. So those of you who have been with me for a while, you know that when I review an oldie but goodie movie, there is no my favorite actor segment and there's no nailed it segment. I'm just going into the Wayback Machine and choosing a favorite movie of mine that needs to be reviewed again. So I have chosen for this week's episode the movie Revenge, starring one of my favorites, Kevin Costner, the late Anthony Quinn, and Madeline Stowe. This movie is so good. It is a classic. And if you've never seen it, you need to find it somewhere so you can watch it. This movie is about a very wealthy gentleman played by Anthony Quinn. His name is Tibby, and he is like a big, wealthy tycoon businessman type of dude. And he is married to a much younger and very beautiful woman played by Madeline Stowe. And Kevin Costner is an old friend of his who is getting ready to retire from being a pilot. He's stationed in Spain and he is, has taken his last hurrah and he's ready to just, land that plane and just enjoy life. And so he is invited by Tibby to his home. And he's like, oh, you've got to come and stay with me for a while and visit. We got to catch up. And so he finally says, sure, okay, I will do it. And so fast forward, our handsome, dashing Kevin Costner goes to visit his friend Tibby. And when he sees the beautiful wife that Tibby has married, well, of course, he is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and all googly-eyed. And she is kind of interested in who this gentleman is as well. So as the movie progresses, the two friends are kind of catching up, and we find that Tibby is quite the hunter. And so after he's invited Kevin Costner to stay with him, he gets, he has an invitation to take a hunting trip. But before that, he has a dinner party or so at his home because he's very well connected with politicians, et cetera. And so they have this big dinner, but it's kind of awkward because, the wife is kind of, overshadowed, if you will, by her husband, who's just got this huge personality and he's kind of controlling and possessive. So you see that dynamic right away. And so after that dinner, Kevin Costner's character kind of excuses himself and he's in the library of this vast mansion of a home. And he's just kind of perusing through some of the books, and he finds a book, and the book is written in Spanish, but he knows a little Spanish and he's able to translate it. Well, the beautiful wife kind of saunters in and she hears him, she sees what he's doing. They kind of have a little chit chat. And once he translates that book into English, right there, she sees that, wow, dude is on an intellectual level that I am missing because I live with a person who, although he has this vast library, he could give a crap about what's actually in it. So there's a little connection right there. You fast forward, and now that the wife has kind of gotten her little googly eyes and her, eyelashes batting, she now wants to, see where this new, acquaintance might take her. So she goes to the beach house where the friend is staying, and she delivers him a book, that same book, but the book is in English. So right there, he sees, wow, she's not just another pretty face. She's got some smarts about her, and she's, got some other interests other than being a trophy wife. So the two of them kind of, it's kind of cool, but that they are kind of digging each other, at least, physically, obviously. Well, this is the timeline. I'm going to tell you the timeline now of how their little introduction turns into a full-blown affair like that. So it all starts in the library, and then they go to they meet at the beach house, and because Kevin Costner's character is so smitten, he offers to make her limonado, and he can't even, handle the fruit because he's fumbling and bumbling all over the place because she's very near in his proximity. You know what I'm saying? So she's just kind of there and, getting a little closer than she should be for a man who's trying to make some lemonade. And so after that, you have, the study. So they're back at the big mansion. The husband is like, oh, I've got to go on this hunting trip with these guys. I'm sorry, you came all this way and I've got to go, but I'm going to be back. You stay here. You make yourself comfortable. And it's in the study where girlfriend just says, kiss me. And he's like, excuse me, what? And she's like, basically, you heard what I said. And of course he does it. So betrayal has already begun. Best friend, probably halfway down the road, and now you've, crossed the line with his wife. Next thing they do, they hop into dude's Jeep to drive wherever, off the compound, and then she's getting all frisky in the Jeep, and they end up screwing in the Jeep while he's trying to drive. So I'm like, this is crazy. And so from there, it's obvious the sexual tension and the attraction between these two is undeniable. So much so that the wife tells the husband upon his return, I'm going to visit a friend in Miami. I haven't seen this friend in a while, so I'm just going to go spend some time with my friend over the weekend. Husband's like, sure, go, all right, if you feel like you need to. Well, these two dummies don't realize that this tycoon has henchmen, and they have already been found out. But they don't even realize it because they're so goo-goo and cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over each other. They go to the cabin, have great sex. I mean, it's just a sexy movie, and, this tension and this heat between these two people is like, wow, I'm loving watching this. But of course, hubby finds out, tracks them down, comes to the cabin, beats Kevin Costner to a pulp, and then disfigures the woman's face, takes her away, and then sends her to spend the rest of her days as a hoe in a brothel, pumped up on drugs daily. Are you kidding me? This movie was so good. And of course, because Kevin Costner fell in love with this woman over the weekend, once he, regains consciousness and, is kind of nursed back to health, so to speak, by a stranger. He's on a mission to find her. And find her he does. But you got to watch it again so that you can see just how he did this. I mean, it's a great movie, but I'm telling you, it is not worth it to be screwing your husband's friend in his house. It's not cool for the friend to come to spend the weekend and screw your wife. So, dead wrong on so many levels, but I'm telling you, I could put this movie back in the Blu-ray right now and watch it and still have the feel goods I did when I saw it way back when in the 1990. So there you have it, folks. The movie Revenge, my oldie but goodie this week. All right, folks, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just make sure you hit that like button. And remember, I am available on BlueSky at HYSI. All right, moviegoers, you know what to do. Until next week, I need you to see a movie because I'm going to see a movie. Until next week, bye-bye.